It's time for another edition of the Reinhardt Coaches Show. Coming up on this episode, we'll be talking round ball with the head coaches of the men's and women's basketball programs, Jason Gillespie and Lindsay Huffman. Also, we'll preview softball season with the head coach of the Lady Eagles, Glen Crawford, and his pair of All-Americans, Randi, Wimpy, and Madison. That's all coming up next on the Reinhardt Coaches Show.
At Jersey Mike's, we think no sub should be measured in inches long or seconds till served. A sub should be measured in moments. Time with friends. Lunch breaks unbroken. Every sub is a chance to be great. Every sub should ask the question, am I a sub or am I a sub above? Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
Bill Holt Chevrolet is a corporate partner of Reinhardt Athletics. Start shopping for your new car or truck today by calling 678-880-1500 or by visiting www.billholtgm.com.
Shape your life and build your future at Reinhardt University. Learn in small classes taught by professors who build community as they share knowledge. Make your home on Reinhardt's beautiful campus or take classes at selected locations. For more than 130 years, the Reinhardt experience has extended beyond the classroom to include sports, music, clubs, and much more. Reinhardt University, shaping lives, building futures.
Hi there, everyone. I'm Jason Haynes, welcoming you to another exciting edition of the Reinhardt Coaches Show. Thanks for welcoming us into your homes for another edition of what's happening up here on the campus in Waleska. What's happening on the campus in Waleska right now is basketball season, as we are in the middle of both men's and women's play. Joined at this time by the head coach of the men's basketball team here at Reinhardt, Jason Gillespie. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Chase.
You know, it's been an interesting season so far for your team. How would you characterize how things are going?
Wow, really, it's been kind of a roller coaster. One way to put it is we've been consistently inconsistent. We're trying to get a bunch of new guys involved. We've only got 2 or 3 guys back that actually played heavy minutes for us last year, so it's been a little bit of a process. We replaced a lot of guys, and started out early where we had a loss of a 6'10" center, and it kind of started some dominoes with that injury. Some dominoes fell that had us playing a little bit differently than we had planned on. So. We like the way our guys compete. We've had a good year in the classroom, and it hasn't shown so much on the court just yet. But we're really enjoying the group of guys that we have. You know,
you're 10-7 so far overall, and you're about midway in the conference season, and you're about midway in the pack in the AAC. What have you learned about your team so far as the season has gone on? Well,
I've learned that we have the talent to compete when we're consistent. I've learned that we have a good group that has a chance to win every game that we show up for when we show up to play the correct way. And it's just to getting to the point where we're doing that night in and night out, possession by possession.
You've got a lot of local kids on your team. 10 of the kids are from the state of Georgia. How much does that speak to how talent-rich this area is, especially because a lot of these kids are actually from the North Georgia area?
There's an incredible amount of talent here in the Georgia area, especially around Atlanta. From a recruiting standpoint, you're going to be able to find someone that's going to be able to play at a high level and possibly even be able to compete at higher levels in other parts of the country. So it's just a matter of getting out and finding guys that are fits for this school, for this area, and getting them here and involved in what we're doing.
One guy who's not from Georgia, he's actually just from across the state line in Alabama, but he's been your leading scorer this year is Corey Ricks. You lost a good deal of scoring from last year's squad, is one of the things you were talking about earlier. So how important has Corey been to help fill that void for you?
Well, you're right. We lost 75 to 80% of our scoring when we graduated 5 seniors last year, and so him coming in has been just a boom for us to at least to be able to compete. We knew guys were going to step up in different roles. We had a bunch of guys redshirting. Justin Zachary, Daquan Langston were redshirts last year, and they've stepped into bigger roles. But Corey has been an outstanding addition, and you know, he's a guy that gets it done in the classroom. He's a 4.0 student. He was a salutatorian in high school. So we're really blessed to have him and all the new guys that we have.
Another guy who was with your program last year, didn't play, but now is playing this year, is Justin Zachary.
Right.
He's someone who's also helped to try to step up and fill that void for scoring. He's definitely a great outside threat, and it's one of the things it seems like your team is built on, is having a lot of good outside shooters. But guys, once those guys get going, it really opens up your post play.
Right. The post play and to dribble, penetrate against it, against defense is what we really aim to do. Losing our 6'10" center at the beginning of the year, and then Josh Stone, our 6'6" transfer, getting a later start than we'd liked for eligibility issues, kind of changed us a little bit in how we were originally going to play. But Justin's spreading the floor as a three-point shooter, and we've got a couple other guys that are capable shooters out there as well, really help us in how we attack.
Let's talk a little bit about your seniors. Ira Hughley is a real battler on defense, and then you've got Matt Porter, who can be a big force in the post, but can also has that outside shot as well.
Right. Those are two seniors that have been with us all 3 years. Ira is going to compete every possession. We know he's going to defend and play at a high energy level. Matt is a great outside shooter when he gets his feet set and when he has a little bit of time, but then he's also an unbelievable rebounder and shot blocker. A little thin, but he uses his strengths to his advantage when he goes to the glass. So they're both lead in different ways. Ira's more vocal and more energetic, and Matt is more by example. But it's nice having two seniors that are willing to go through those battles.
Looking ahead quickly at the rest of the AAC slate, how do you project things playing out for your team? Where are you going to need to work on?
Well, I wish I could project exactly. The things we need to work on, I think I've already touched on. The consistency of our play. How we guard we've improved a great deal in that. And actually, our offensive side has really we've struggled a little bit more offensively than we have in our past. I think once we get to that balance where we're as good as we need to be defensively, and where we're looking at making shots, we're making free throws, then we'll have a chance to really maybe make a move in this conference.
Coach, thanks a lot for joining us. Best of luck the rest of the season.
Thanks for having me, Jason. Appreciate it.
All right. We'll be talking women's basketball with head coach Linsey Huffman coming up right after this on the Reinhardt Coaches Show.
At Jersey Mike's, we think no sub should be measured in inches long or seconds till served. A sub should be measured in moments, time with friends, lunch breaks unbroken. Every sub is a chance to be great. Every sub should ask the question, am I a sub or am I a sub above? Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
For more information on Reinhardt Athletics, visit the website at reinhardteagles.com.
Shape your life and build your future at Reinhardt University. Learn in small classes taught by professors who build community as they share knowledge. Make your home on Reinhardt's beautiful campus or take classes at selected locations. For more than 130 years, the Reinhardt experience has extended beyond the classroom to include sports, music, clubs, and much more. Reinhardt University, shaping lives, building futures.
Bill Holt Chevrolet is a corporate partner of Reinhardt Athletics. Start shopping for your new car or truck today by calling 678-880-1500 or by visiting www.billholtgm.com. Welcome back to the Reinhardt Coaches Show. Women's basketball team here at Reinhardt is in the midst of a record-setting season. Earlier this year, they won a program record 6 games in a row, and they also won 8 games in a row in conference play, also a program record. As we tape this, they sit in second place in the Appalachian Athletic Conference with a record of 8-2. In conference play, 12-7 overall, and the person who's pulling the strings on that squad is the head coach of the Lady Eagles, Linsey Huffman. Coach, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
You know, your team started out 1-4 on the year, and then they went on this big run they've been on the last couple of weeks, really month and a half. Was there kind of a light bulb moment, you could say, where you could tell things just kind of clicked for your team?
I don't know if it was one actual moment, but it's been a process this season for sure. And as of late, we've just started getting some chemistry things worked out, and I think that had a lot to do with us starting to click together. We have the talent. It's playing together that is always an issue, I feel like, and I think that early on we just didn't have our chemistry or our feel down just yet. So it's still a process, but we're getting there.
Your team, I think, really wins on defense and toughness. And I mentioned the word toughness because that's the title of a book written by Jay Billis that I know has been a big impact on you and your coaching style. How much do you try to instill that quality of toughness in your squads?
We really try to do that on a daily basis, and that's something that a lot of players have, but it's also, I think, a skill that has to be taught. And we're fortunate enough that we have a lot of good girls that have bought into that, and they're physically tough and mentally tough, but I think the mental toughness is what we try and instill daily, and the girls have really this year bought into that, and I think that's part of our success is due to that.
One thing, as kind of an outsider watching your teams play, has been the way that your guards really are able to move the ball, find the open player, but they can also score as well when they need to. You've got your starting point guard in Peyton Smith and your starting shooting guard in Brooke Thomas, who both really fill those roles very well.
Definitely, and I can't say enough good things about those two young ladies. They're definitely big contributors for us, and Peyton runs the point for us, and she runs the show and is very unselfish as well as Brooke. But they do some great things offensively for us that don't necessarily show up on the stat line, and that's just from them being unselfish and competitors and wanting us to win. And they've been a tremendous help for our team this year.
Someone who's really blossomed this year has been Katika Favors, who was a really raw talent. You could tell she had all sorts of athletic ability, but now this year has really come into her own. She's really stepped up, and she's really been somebody you can count on as someone who can either start or be that first person off the bench for you.
Absolutely. Katika's had a great year so far, and I'm very pleased with how she's come around. She is definitely one of the most athletic players that I've been around or coached, and once things started clicking for her and she started competing, and that gave her some confidence, and I think the big thing with her is confidence, and once she had that, she's been able to help us out tremendously, and she creates a big matchup problem for some of her opponents, so very pleased with how she's playing.
Someone else who creates big matchup problems is your 6'5" post player, Carmen Lockhart, a transfer from Kennesaw State who came here and is really, she really helped your team 2 years ago to an Appalachian Athletic Conference tournament championship. And this year, I think, especially really throughout this whole run that your team has been playing really the best basketball for a career.
Definitely, I would agree with that. She has stepped up big time for us this season, and again, with her, it's a confidence thing, I believe, and probably the most pleased I've been with is her contribution on defense this year, where she's really improved and helped us on the defensive end tremendously. But her offensive game has, like you said, creates some serious matchup problems for our opponent, and she's just been more focused this year, probably the most focused I've seen her, and just proud of how she's been playing. And she's worked hard this summer to get to where she's at, and I think that's starting to show, and very, very pleased when she plays tough and hard underneath, then it's hard to guard her.
Looking at some of your other guards, I would be remiss if I didn't talk about Jess Ann Nix, who's also out there starting for you, and Erica Woodfin, who can come in off the bench, hit a big three-pointer for you here or there, hit 9 3-pointers in your season opener this year. But, Erica especially has really come around on her defense, and Jess Ann, really from the start of the season, has been playing great defense for you.
Definitely, and sometimes I feel like I forget that Jess Ann is just a freshman, so we're very excited about that fact, and she plays hard all the time, as do a number of our players. Play hard is what I love about them, but Jess Ann brings some toughness and on defense that is very refreshing, and she's a competitor and is going to do her best all the time, and I think that shows up. She gives some people some problems on defense, and offensively she can shoot the ball and she can get to the rim, and she does that the best when she plays with confidence, and kind of fuels that with their defensive game.
One last player I want to talk about is April Besley, who's kind of the heart and soul of your team. You know, she hasn't been able to get as many rebounds this year because she's got more players around her who can rebound. But in years past, she's been the player who, anytime a ball went up, she was going to be right there on the glass. And she's still that player. She's still tough on defense, even if the numbers don't quite show it. The same this year. She's been really tremendous for you down low, though.
Definitely. April is our senior that has been here at Reinhardt all 4 years, and I've been fortunate enough to coach her for 3, but she plays with a lot of heart and soul, and she's undersized in the post, but that never seems to deter her, and she rebounds with the best of them, and she's one of those players that I wouldn't want to play against, and we're lucky to have her, and I appreciate how hard she works every day, and that's something that motivates her teammates and I think is contagious for our team.
Looking ahead to the second half of conference season, we're a little bit limited on time, but looking ahead to the second half of conference season, what does your team need to do to keep this run going?
Just focus on the day-to-day things, not get too ahead of ourselves, and just focus on each game and stick to the fundamentals. I think that's kind of what has got us our success, and we need to remember those things and focus on our defense and taking care of the basketball and just the chemistry part.
Coach, thanks a lot for your time.
Thanks so much
Best
for
of
having
luck the rest of the year.
Thank you.
We'll be talking softball coming up right after this. This is the Reinhardt Coaches Show. Jersey Mike Subs is proud to be a corporate sponsor of Reinhardt Athletics. Visit their location at 149 Reinhardt College Parkway in Canton, Georgia.
Shape your life and build your future at Reinhardt University. Learn in small classes taught by professors who build community as they share knowledge. Make your home on Reinhardt's beautiful campus or take classes at selected locations. For more than 130 years, the Reinhardt experience has extended beyond the classroom to include sports, music, clubs, and much more. Reinhardt University, shaping lives, building futures.
Bill Holt Chevrolet is a corporate partner of Reinhardt Athletics. Start shopping for your new car or truck today by calling 678-880-1500 or by visiting www.billholtgm.com. Welcome back to the Reinhardt Coaches Show. If there's one team that can call itself a dynasty here at Reinhardt University, it's the softball team. Head coach Glen Crawford has seen his team go to back-to-back NAIA World Series down in Columbus, Georgia. This year the site moves to Morningside, Iowa, but the Lady Eagles are primed to make another run at the NAIA World Series and get possibly that first national championship for Reinhardt University. I'm joined now by the head coach of the Lady Eagles, Glen Crawford. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
You know, this program that you've built, it didn't come overnight. Let's talk a little bit about just the history building up to this, because you've won a lot of conference championships in a row to finally be able to get to this point where you've got so much great national recognition.
Right. I think, you know, when we first got here, we took over the great foundation of the program, and then bringing in kids that would really buy into what we want to do, both on the field, in the classroom, and just excel at what it is that we look forward to. We had a great recruiting class my first year. It was 29 and 22 the first year, and then coupled that with a pitcher coming in, and then we just took off 40 games from there on out, and really remarkable how they picked up on what we wanted to do.
You know, this team last year going into this year, you've got a lot of great talent that's coming back this year, but last year had to have been a special season for you to get so close to a national championship. I know you've been down there before, but to finish third in the country, something no Reinhardt team has ever done before, had to be really special for you.
It was really special, and I say this all the time, that if someone would have told me, hey, you're going to finish third in the nation, you know, before the season started, I'd say I'd take it. But then once you get there and you're third, you're like, okay, well, we see first, and I wasn't happy with third. And so it took a little while for it to, you know, basically sink in all the stuff we accomplished, and then it is very special.
You've got a couple players that we'll be talking to in a minute, in Randi, Wimpy, and Madison Luck, who really, they're coming back off of years that I don't know anyone could really hope to replicate, but they're going to have to hope to replicate, because both were All-Americans last year. Randi led the country in home runs, and Madison was second in the country in wins. they are two talents who are really a great foundation for this team coming into 2015 to be building off of from 2014.
Oh, they're great corner pieces for us, definitely. You know, you got Randi with the offense and also behind the plate with their arm, controlling the running game as well. And I believe they both can do exactly what they did last year, if not better, if they just stay within themselves and be who they are and not try to be something else. Madison Luck on the mound, her ball moves great, and she just, you know, trusts it and relies on it and lets our defense play behind her. We'll be right back where we should be. And once again, they're both great finds. You know, Wimpy from Cartersville out of Woodland, and then you got Madison Luck right here at Creekview High School. So it was really good finds for both of them.
Let's talk a little bit about that local talent right quick, because there's so much talent in the state of Georgia with softball. Softball is almost one of those overlooked sports sometimes in the state of Georgia, but there's a lot of great talent, and you guys keep showing it year after year with what you do based on Georgia talent.
Right, there is, you know, it's not going overlooked anymore. A lot of the big schools are coming in and taking up a lot of the good players, so we have to look even harder now to find it, but it is there. I think the South is known for good softball through our travel ball programs and high school programs as well. So it is rich. There are, you know, Alabama, Tennessee, and surrounding states trying to come in and take our talent. So we get to keep them here. It's a good thing.
Coach, you got a great season in store for you. I know we're going to talk to a couple of your players, but best of luck to you this upcoming year.
Thank you very much.
All right, we'll talk with Madison Luck and Randi Wimpy coming up right after this on the Reinhardt Coaches Show.
At Jersey Mike's, we think no sub should be measured in inches long or seconds till served. A sub should be measured in moments, time with friends, lunch breaks unbroken. Every sub is a chance to be great. Every sub should ask the question, am I a sub or am I a sub above? Jersey Mike's, be a sub above.
For more information on Reinhardt Athletics, visit the website at reinhardteagles.com.
Shape your life and build your future at Reinhardt University. Learn in small classes taught by professors who build community as they share knowledge. Make your home on Reinhardt's beautiful campus or take classes at selected locations. For more than 130 years, the Reinhardt experience has extended beyond the classroom to include sports, music, clubs, and much more. Reinhardt University, shaping lives, building futures.
Bill Holt Chevrolet is a corporate partner of Reinhardt Athletics. Start shopping for your new car or truck today by calling 678-880-1500 or by visiting www.billholtgm.com. Last year's Reinhardt softball team finished third in the country after making it to the NAIA World Series for the second year in a row down in Columbus, Georgia. Two of those players from last year's team were also All-Americans, and they join us right now. Randi Wimpy and Madison Luck. Ladies, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
Now, Randi, you led the nation last year in home runs, and a lot of people always ask me, where does your strength come from? How much do you work on, you know, in the weight room and also on your timing at the plate to just be able to generate that kind of power like you did last year?
Well, it's not all about how much you can lift or anything like that. It's really all about mechanics and fundamentals with it. And if you have that, I mean, working out comes in handy, but if you have that, then you're pretty sound on where you're at the plate, and that's my philosophy on it.
What was it like last year making it to the NAIA World Series, finishing in third place? Were you able to look back at it now now that we're almost a year past it, are you able to look at it with positive memories, or does it just motivate you that much more for this year?
Oh yeah, definitely positive memories, and definitely a big motivation for this year, and hopefully we can get back there and go even further in it.
You know, you had the pleasure of catching pretty much all year this person who's right next to us. You know, she led the country, or was second in the country in wins last year. How did Madison impress you in the circle last year?
Definitely one thing that impresses me about her is her curveball. A lot of people in our conference have told me about her pitching, and that's one thing that stood out the most to them was her curveball. And as long as she's got her head on right, she's definitely one tough pitcher to hit off of.
Now, Madison, last year, you were pretty much the go-to person all year last year. What kind of pressure was that on you, knowing game in, game out, you're going to be the one with the ball in the circle pretty much every game?
It was a lot of pressure. I definitely know we'd go to another game and I'd be absolutely tired, but you know, in the end, it was worth it. How far we got. So I mean, even now it pushes me. But now that we got 2 more pitchers in this year, so I feel a lot more relaxed knowing that I don't have to worry about pitching a lot this year. But at the same time, I have these other pitchers that are going to push me too. So I'm really excited to see what this year has to bring.
You know, last year finishing with 36 wins in the country, being an All-American, your freshman year had to just exceed all your expectations.
Yeah, like that was one year that I will not forget, and you know, I loved it all. You know, the success that we had and meeting all the players on our team. I mean, now like I'm friends with this one over here and a bunch of others, and that's going to be lifelong friendships, as well as how well we did, and so memorable too. So.
Okay. Well, ladies, best of luck to you this year. Hope that you can replicate the success that you had last year, maybe bring home a national championship for us.
Of course. Thank you.
Shape your life and build your future at Reinhardt University. Learn in small classes taught by professors who build community as they share knowledge. Make your home on Reinhardt's beautiful campus or take classes at selected locations. For more than 130 years, the Reinhardt experience has extended beyond the classroom to include sports, music, clubs, and much more. Reinhardt University, shaping lives, building futures.
Bill Holt Chevrolet is a corporate partner of Reinhardt Athletics. Start shopping for your new car or truck today by calling 678-880-1500 or by visiting www.billholtgm.com.
At Jersey Mike's, we think no sub should be measured in inches long or seconds till served. A sub should be measured in moments. Time with friends. Lunch breaks unbroken. Every sub is a chance to be great. Every sub should ask the question, am I a sub or am I a sub above? Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
That'll do it for this edition of the Reinhardt Coaches Show. Next time out, it's the Spring Sports Extravaganza. We'll be talking tennis, men's lacrosse, women's lacrosse, and baseball. That's all coming up next time on the Reinhardt Coaches Show. We'll see you then.